My husband said if I went ahead with surgery, he wanted a separation. So yesterday I was here complaining about my husband, and my gut feelings were right after seeing the reactions here that my husband is crossing a boundary by trying to control Bo. My body looks. So this morning I told him this. He just sat silently and listened to me. Then he said that he wasn't trying to control me or coerce me, but at the same breath he said he loved my body, and if I am not taking his opinions into consideration, then he knows that I don't care about his opinion. He would not look at me the same way or touch me. I said that I didn't want to be married to someone who doesn't want to touch me, and he said that then we won't be married. But remember that I love you, and you are breaking up with a man who loves you because of superficial changes I want to do to my body. He would stay for the recovery, then he moves out after Christmas. I said I was going ahead with my surgery, and he just shook his head. He cried later in the garden. I can't believe him. He sounds final, like he has been thinking about divorce for a while. I've been waiting for this surgery for 25 years because of how busy this doctor is. And my preliminary surgery day is in November. I have consultation soon. I am going ahead with my plans, and he can go with his. According to him, if I am free to choose what I do with my body, he is free to leave when it doesn't suit him anymore. P.S. Many are asking about the surgery, and it is breast reduction. And no, I am not doing it for medical reasons, since I have no back or head pains. I am not that big to have these problems. It is purely cosmetic. This is the most important part of my beef with him. I know you mean well bringing up health benefits, but this is about my rights to control how I look. He would 100% have supported me if it was for medical reasons, because he has in the past. My guess is this is just one of many items between you two. YA, this post is not complete due to missing relevant info. Gotta be more going on than breast reduction. I get the same feeling, like this is some sort of last straw with the guy. She says it seems like he's been thinking about divorce for a while. Was that really all about an impending surgery? Maybe, but probably not. I wish this was the response to more of these posts. People go through phases, and maybe this isn't the first thing that she's changed in recent years. If he really loved you, the size of your tits would not be the determining factor of whether he stays with you. If he chooses to leave because he can only be with a woman who has breasts over a certain size, he's a sleazeball who never deserved you. Crazy he's trying to blame his choices and misogyny on you. I saw a post a few weeks ago where the guy wanted to divorce his wife because she buzzed her hair off and got boob reduction surgery. Overwhelming majority supported him because he deserves to be attracted to his wife. That's the thing. Love shouldn't be conditional on body parts. If his affection disappears over cosmetic choices, then it was never about love, just control and attraction tied to his own ego. I dated a man after I became a widow who told me that my saggy skin was repulsive. I lied to him by wearing form-fitting undergarments. Lol. Thank God I told him the relationship was over. I can't have cosmetic surgery due to medical necessary. Implants. While I'd love to have a mummy makeover, my overall health is far more important how my physical body looks after having kids. The audacity is what surprises me. Saggy skin, repulsive. WTF. He will eventually also be a wrinkled old sack. Have we seen a scrotum? Now that's repulsive. They tend to stretch over time as they get older and become this horrible gross things that will even float on top of the water when they bathe. I worked in an old people home. Lol. You just told me something I rather would have not known. I'm amused about these guys, who want some stick-thin gal to date. Just before we were married, I jokingly said my soon-to-be husband, "You have heard the old wives' tale that if you want to know what your wife is going to look like in 30 years, you should look at her mum 99 of the time, right?" He replied, "Honey, I'm sure I will love you. If you're 400 pounds and toothless, who cares? I'm going to be in love with your body, mind, soul for all time, no matter what you look like in the future." He lived up to that. When I cried after our third child, the saggy skin was there to stay. He hugged me and said, "Your body has done an amazing thing 3 times. You're more beautiful now than the day I married you." I wish that fairy tale was still going on. LM. He died at 48 years old. Oh, I am so sorry. What a tragic loss of a wonderful man who should be an example to both men and women. His kind are rare. Some would tell you that they love you anyway. Rare it is to be sensitive enough to say those words that he said. You're right. He was amazing. One of my nices, actually. As my husband, tell him what he thought made a good marriage. She told my husband that if he didn't talk to him, she wasn't going to get married. She told me later that she learned a lot from being around us as a child. Apparently, she did learn a lot because she's been married for almost 32 years. She has a wonderful husband too. I'm sorry for your loss, but I'm so glad you have such beautiful memories. My dad was the same, and we lost him at about the same age. It can be so hard when you lose such a wonderful person in your life. I know for me, the world has always seemed a little grayer and a little less safe. Oh my God, girl. I am so sorry to hear that. You got the goddamn dream husband, then lost him too soon. Sending you big hugs for that. And pretty wrinkly in general, plus you gotta manage the hygiene and hair control for an area that sweats and has folds and lots of area for skin and hair to retain sweat and become smelly or dirty when hygiene isn't maintained. Lying accusations due to form-fitting clothy sounds. Literally like an insane accusation. And teabagging the toilet bowl. I'm not even male, but that made me scrunch up my bits. Ugh. OMG. I've never heard that before. What a great descriptor. Have we seen a scrotum? Has me cackling. True. Have old hubs and post-prostatectomy, it's hideous. But we don't need to say it or judge it. It's the nature of this thing. I would never say to a guy that they are hideous. Ever hear the term, teabag? My cousin got PS because her ex kept talking about her saggy tits and lack of ass. She got a BBL before it was even known as a BBL. This was in Mexico like 15 years ago, and a breast reduction. Motherfucker still cheated on her and then ended up in jail because of fraud. Those kinds of people are overall shitty individuals. My ex always told me if I cut my hair I could find a new place to live. Guess what? One of the first things I did after the divorce? It wasn't find a new place to live. 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer during her lifetime. What would have happened if a double mastectomy was called for? Would he have bailed then as well? It's really a him problem, and I feel sadly for Op that her husband isn't enough. Hopefully, she'll be happier after going through it all. Op had already stated that the husband has supported all of her medical decisions. That was a necessity without issue. Possibly he's one of those people who think cosmetic surgery is some kind of evil. But it certainly looks like he just wants big boobs in his life. It could also be this isn't Op's first cosmetic surgery. If it wasn't, which I highly doubt, then he's doing the opposite of being controlling if she feels like he's made up his mind a long time ago since she's been on a waiting list for 2.5 years. He could have made it an ultimatum then if he wanted to coerce her. He let her make her personal choice for that long without trying to prevent her. And now that it's happening, he's simply leaving. I mean, yeah, he is 100% free to leave. Like you're free to do your surgery. That's just how life is. I mean, he is right. You are able to choose whether or not you want the surgery. He is able to choose whether he wants to be with you afterwards or not. Very superficial reason to end a marriage in my opinion, but if that's the choice, that's the choice. Sounds like there is more context missing somewhere here in this story though. This marriage sounds like much more resentfulness built up than just on boobs. I mean, if my partner chose to get cosmetic surgery for purely cosmetic reasons, which Op said she is, I would not be down for that. I don't care if it's breast reduction, breast enlargement, nose job, or some other thing. If there was an actual reason for the surgery, I would fully support it. Maybe OP's husband is upset about her boobs getting smaller, or maybe he is upset that someone he sees as perfect is uncomfortable with her own body and is having surgery to alter it. The amount of down votes is insane to me. If my partner got buccal fat removal or a large face tattoo, then I am definitely breaking it off. I want to be in a romantic relationship where I am attracted to my partner. If they willingly execute a decision that abruptly changes my attraction to them, then I will obviously have an opinion on that decision and outcome. Yeah, I agree more people are getting hung up on defending her and focusing on her tits, like if they know for sure that's all there is to this decision. We don't have all the info, only what Op has posted, which paints him as in the wrong from the get-go. As a girl with big boobs, even a purely cosmetic size reduction is a quality of life increase. I'm not big enough to make a reduction medically necessary, but if they were smaller, I would save money on clothing, not need to strap myself down so tight I can barely breathe if I want to run or do any kind of cardio. Bras would be cheaper and easier to find. I feel like unless you've lived in that body, you just don't know. Do you know how heavy big boobs are? Do you know how difficult it is to wear certain clothes with these giant things on your chest? It may be cosmetic, but reducing the size of your breasts can greatly improve your life for a lot of people. As someone who has had double D almost bigger for my whole life, it's too late for me to do breast surgery because I'm too old and have too many other health concerns. But having lived with large breasts for this long, you are absolutely right. And being concerned that they rule how you are portrayed, treated. They also make it very difficult to fit in clothes, and they do cause back issues later on. Nevertheless, you do you. It's your body, your choice. I would hope to think any healthy, supportive partner would support you. I will say, even as someone whose boobs aren't large, the perception of you definitely changes, and what you can wear definitely changes. That sounds shallow to a lot of people who haven't gone through it. But I started small, not nothing big, definitely not a prominent feature as an athlete, and didn't really think about them. I could wear low-cut tops, I could go braless, and no one really cared or commented or anything. Then I gained weight and stopped training, and they got big. Like, not even big. But suddenly, when I sat down by boob, skin would touch my ribcage under there. I sweated a lot. And when I wore what I was used to wearing, a slip dress or whatever, I would get comments, and regardless of what I was wearing, I was more sexualized by men while also surprisingly getting some jealously comments from women. I had to change up my wardrobe and expectations, and bra shopping is a nightmare. I don't look big, no one is like, hoa. I probably look like a C, but because I have a small rib cage, my bust measurements to cup measurements make me a H. And because it was due to weight gain then lost, the lag of perkiness makes bra fitting harder. I'm wondering if my own situation is similar to OPS. I don't have back pain. They aren't saggy or wrinkly to the extent or anything that it would raise eyebrows. I get compliments. But the changed perception of who I am because of the size change is mind-boggle. I'm heavily considering a breast reduction. In short, people may see this as shallow. Because yes, I'm technically doing it to better fit into the clothes I want to wear and ITLLB for cosmetic reasons. But I know I'd feel more like myself again and truly be more carefree. They won't be something I have to think about every day while getting dressed. Also, as a PS for anyone who is concerned or wondering, while I get more sexualized outwardly by men I wouldn't date anyway or women I wouldn't be friends with anyway, there's actually been zero shift in the men who find me attractive or want a relationship. I know some women are concerned about that. You know, reading this off the top of my head, I would like to say you're shallow, but you are absolutely not. Unfortunately, large breasts have been sexualized in the United States in ads, movies, magazines. I wish this wasn't the reality, but I have several friends who had trouble with their husbands feeling sexual toward them when they breastfed their children. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong or that I could speak for anyone else's private journey. But I definitely feel like any size breasts have been overly sexualized. I have a G. Even when I was skinny, I was a DDD. It sucks being in back pain or feeling like trying to stand straight puts too much pressure on your back. I always need to wear supportive bras. If no one has gone through this, they do not understand how hard having big breasts can be on your body. I also have been dreaming of the surgery since I was a teenager, and my husband is aware and supportive of it. Once we have our second, I will start having conversations with doctors about it. I hear you 100. Not only that, it's like, why do I have to pay 89 for a bra? I'm Rs 32J UK 32GG and I get my bras on eBay. Tons of out-of-season bras that are brand new and I only pay 20-40 each. Was a total game changer because I was paying 75100 before. Oh my goodness, thank you for this advice. Yeah. I literally need a separate paycheck just to pay for bras, if we can even find one. The Netherlands has chain stores specific for large bras, not extremely pricey. I'm a G and if I win the lottery, I'm going to look into a reduction. I don't like my big boobs and never have done. I had one in July of 2024, I was an H and I am a D now. My insurance covered the surgery because I had so many complaints of back pain, heat rashes, neck and shoulder pain. Check with you insurance companies. A lot. Cover it. Count me in. 30 for grams with such a tiny frame that a grown man could palm the width of my ribcage. They just don't make sizes for us. And I look comical and disproportionate. A doctor told me I'm not a good candidate because mine are not big enough, but that isn't taking proportion into account. I'm also 5'1". This thread is convincing me to find another doctor. Always look for a second opinion. Even more for health issues. Bravissimo goes up to that size and does international shipping. My friend in Japan gets 30 JS from them. Polish brands are lifesavers for large sizes, including small bands. EWA Mikulak. I'm a 36J and have been buying my bras nearly exclusively from her for years. Playful Promises also has a pretty wide array of sizes. Yes, find another doctor. I waited to do mine until I was 41 until I was done having kids. I was also this big and wish I'd done it when I was much younger. So I've clarified here that she isn't seeking what people would typically understand as a breast reduction. She is not seeking any medically necessary procedure. She has no issues like yourself and the tons of others commenting. She allegedly isn't even currently that big, her words. She is seeking cosmetic surgery for exclusively aesthetic reasons. Not that this changes her right to her bodily autonomy, but it does change the context, and I believe OP has likely been intentionally misleading by using the commonly understood term breast reduction. Knowing now that she's seeking cosmetic surgery, taking a look back at the husband's original reaction, I suspect that OP may be seeking a more extreme change than she was originally letting on. The husband's body dysmorphia comments take on a potentially new light with this context. Regardless of whether he's right or not, I am not trying to argue right vs. wrong. I'm looking for a more realistic explanation for his extreme reaction other than he's a psychotic, controlling, shallow monster of a man who cares more about her cup size than her well-being. She doesn't have any health concerns, it's purely cosmetic. So it's more in the same line of someone getting breast implants and being broken up with. I think you should just contact a lawyer now. Separate now. The two of you are not going to work this out. There is no reason to continue talking about it. He said he was willing to lie to her family to take her rights away to the surgery. There's no way in hell he is going to help her after. He does not think he is lying. He thinks she is mentally ill. She has lifelong depression and suicidality that she hasn't disclosed to her own mother. Husband is concerned she may have body dysmorphia. Why not put the issue to rest and get evaluated? They do it for bariatric patients prior to surgery. Surgery can't fix mental issues. Where did you see this information? It sounds like he literally loves your boobs more than he loves you. In that case, the husband can put on boobs XD. Both things can be true. You can choose surgery and he can choose divorce. You are both within your rights to make a choice. I don't think y'all really read the first post. She talked about this with him for years, so this wasn't a thing she dropped on him. He knew, went to the doctor with her, then had a tantrum in the doctor's office about it, then threatened to tell her family she was mentally unwell. At any point, he could have said something about how it made him uncomfortable or gave his opinion, but he didn't. He has a mouth, but wants to be a baby, and if he did, these are two adults. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Life moves on. Also, why do so many people care? This isn't your wallet or your body. If she wants cosmetic surgery, it kills no one. If you think cosmetic surgery is a waste, then keep thinking that. We don't even know her. We'll never meet her. If she regrets it, it's her life. The world will still spin. And before I get those dude, well, what if it was the other way around, yada yada yada? I would say the same thing. Like, stuff happens. Their life doesn't affect you or me. Edit, I do know she can die from cosmetic surgery. I'm saying it won't affect us if she gets the surgery. He cried. For your tits. Nobody is making him leave. He's choosing to leave. Over your tits. I'm so happy for you of all the things you will become free of. We found one of his main reasons for liking his wife apparently. Seriously, no man would treat the woman he loved like that. I'm convinced he loves her boobs more than the woman attached to them. FF's crying over spilled tits? I thought only babies cried at boobs being taken away. Crying over spilled tits. I have a decent rack and once asked my husband what he would do if I had a breast reduction. He was like, oh no, are you taking them away? But he also immediately said it was my body. Live. I would be lying if I said that my breast reduction isn't partially because I no longer want to be overly sexualized for my large breasts. There's more to me than my large breasts, and men piss me the hell off because they act like they have any right to tell me if I should get this reduction or not. Not to mention, people overvalue large breasts and undervalue or don't even think about how being more balanced is aesthetically appealing and makes it so much easier to express yourself, especially because more clothes will actually fit. I'm proud of you or for choosing yourself and your happiness. This man clearly placed more of his affection for you on your breasts than you as person, and that's really just not a man worth being in a lifelong relationship with. My girlfriend has big boobs. They are amazing. I love them. I love seeing them. I love holding them. They are just pure happiness. If she ever, for any reason, had them reduced or removed, I would still love her just the same as I do now. The boobs are great, but she is what I love, and whatever package she comes in is good enough for me. Her boobs being incredible is just a delightful bonus on top of her being perfect. Your husband is threatening to leave you over it. I recommend you call his bluff and see if he follows through. Because the simple fact is, it doesn't matter how nice your boobs are, they aren't you. Did he marry you? Or your boobs? If your boobs are even a little smaller, then I will be unwilling to touch you. Geez, I guess you just learned that he was only in the relationship for the tits. The vows don't say, do you? OPS husband, take these tits, in sickness and in health, in big tits and in small. My husband is a major boob man and didn't bat an eye when I had my reduction 10 years ago. Your husband has made his priorities clear. So, your large breasts are more important to your husband than you are. How nice of him to clarify that. I expect you have all the clarity you need on this situation. That is the gross part. What if she got disfigured or gained weight? He wants a wife with big breasts more than he wants a wife who is someone he loves and respects. He cares more about breast size than who she is as a person. Honestly, I think this is the best part, because he is making it much easier for Op to stay strong in her resolve. She sees him for what he is now, and what he truly loves about her. There is immense value in this clarity. If I were in OPS shoes, I would be too incredulous to even be sad about my marriage ending. Just imagine Op explaining the situation to mutual friends and family. Hey Op, ask him why his opinions about your body should outweigh your opinions about it. Or is the converse true, that your opinions about his body outweigh his own? I really feel like there is a lot more to this story than what is written. It took me too long to find this reply. You have every right to have this surgery. He has every right to end the marriage for any reason, or none. It could be over something like disliking ketchup when it's your favorite. I don't like his reasons. I don't agree with them. But the reasons he's giving are a reason he would no longer consent to being in the marriage. I'm sorry for this loss, Op, but I agree that you deserve to be happy when you look at yourself. And if he can't accept who you are and how you wish to look, he's no longer someone who is benefiting you. I had one about 24 years ago. Best decision I ever made. How you feel is the most important thing here. If you lose him too, then that's on him, not you. Wishing you all the very best for November and your new you. Your husband is not controlling how you look. He said he would not be attracted to you anymore if you changed your looks. That's not controlling, that's a normal human thing. People are attracted to looks, and they are also not attracted to others. He was stating a fact, not controlling you. The divorce is your idea. In your words, he stated he wouldn't be attracted to you, and then you state you don't want to be married to someone not attracted to you. He then states, I guess we won't be married. You are the one initiating the divorce in that sentence, not him. This all boils down to you want to appear to be the victim, but your own post just has you twisting his words to make you appear to be attacked and controlled by him when he is doing neither of those things. NTA. A breast reduction because you are not comfortable in your skin may be cosmetic but reasonable. I have large breasts, and if I had the funds, I would have gotten them reduced. No, I don't have back pain. But bra shopping is a bitch. Clothing shopping is a bitch. I would prefer smaller breasts for my own overall comfort. I think a key point is the husband possibly wouldn't leave if it was medically necessary, but that doesn't mean that won't change the way he feels about her breasts and body. Just that he's supportive in that respect. Unless Op has severe body issues she's not disclosing, then is response excessive. And no, getting a tattoo is not equivalent unless it's extreme full sleeve, face tattoo. Either way, Op gets to choose for her body and her husband does not have to agree with her choice. It is what it is. There's missing info here, but y'all ain't meant to be. Surgery or not. I've been as big as an H and as small as an F. They've never caused me health problems, but I totally know how it feels like you have to live your whole life around them. Can't buy normals tops. Bras cost a fortune. People stare at you. You can't run comfortably. I've always wanted a reduction. Op, if this is what it takes for him to leave you, let him go. God's forbid. You were diagnosed with cancer and had to have a mastectomy. Your body isn't there to suit him. He should be there for all of you, not just your breasts. He should love your mind and your spirit. Find someone who does. NTA, I don't know why he wants to end the entire relationship and choose no boobs over smaller boobs. I'd guess there is more to it, and this is just the excuse used to start the process of leaving while making it seem like it's your fault. I often wonder how many marriages Reddit ruins with their black or white. Terrible advice. My husband likes boobs. My husband likes my boobs. Would he be saddened if I opted to reduce my boobs 36G because I just want to walk into a lingerie store and find a cute bra that actually comes in my size? Would he get over it and support me anyways? Hell yes. I'm sorry, but your husband is a shallow, controlling man, and I think you will ultimately be much happier with him out of your life. Big boobs, little boobs, still boobs. I'll say it again, not immediately bending to someone's wants does not mean you are not taking their wants into consideration. It really does sound like there's more to this than we've been told. I wouldn't do what he's doing, but I don't think he's some irredeemable ghoul either. Like it or not, there are things that our partners can do that will change how we see them. It's their right to do so, but they can't demand that you not have a negative reaction to it either. I love my long-term partner dearly. If they were to suddenly get a full face tattoo or significant cosmetic surgery, I can't sit here and claim there's no way my feelings would change. There's also things like body dysmorphia to take into consideration. If Up were to have that, would things be as clear as many posters claim here? I personally think not. This is much more complex than just Up good, man bad. I said something similar on the last post once I saw that the surgery was strictly cosmetic. Maybe he is truly concerned for her mental state, but I got downvoted to hell lol. I'm not saying women don't have the right to have cosmetic surgery, but I can see his point of it being a deal breaker for him. BC, a lot of people don't agree with cosmetic surgeries for a variety of reasons. He also stated he knows one surgery will not be the end of it, and after this she will find something else to fixate on. There's something missing here and I can't put my finger on it. Is there something he knows that you haven't shared? Why would he bring up a psychological exam or body dysmorphia? I mean, I was 100 ready to bash him for being controlling, but this feels different. Why is he so adamant and threatening divorce? You have a right to do to your body as you see fit. He has a right to divorce. Sorry, but that's life. The thing is, I asked myself how I would react if my husband wouldn't consult me when he gets a new tattoo. I would be pretty pissed, to be honest. I vetoed some ideas and he never tried to push it. I have to live with his body too, and he wants to be sure I'm on board. I'd do the same for any cosmetic surgeries. I'm not sure if he's leaving because he hates the idea of what you want to do, or because you don't give a damn about his feelings about it. Anyways, you're both adults and you're both free to choose what to do with your life. She wanted it for years and he seemed supportive, then asked to come to her appointment, which she thought was support, then exploded at the surgeon and lied about her having body dysmorphia. Again, he kept this bizarre attitude to himself for years. Thank you. So many comments in here are super hypocritical, acting like her crossing some kind of boundary, whether it's strictly about size or having issues with cosmetic surgery and how it looks or just the risks, should have zero impact on him. The wife has already stated in post what I can only call a glow up for him, indicating if it was medical caused by an accident or illness that he would support her. And that his issue is that it's purely cosmetic and her choice and she is ignoring his opinion. Does this make her a monster? No, but he, by no reasonable person, should be expected to stay. You are both absolutely right. It is your body and you should be allowed to do whatever you want with it. Your husband is also free to love whoever he wants. He doesn't have to support you and should be free to divorce you and date whoever he prefers for whatever criteria. Your husband has no right to tell you how to manage your own body, and you have no right to tell your husband how he should feel about you. No assholes here. You're allowed to do what you want with your body, and he's allowed to not want to be with someone who alters their body. This is a matter of fundamental incompatibility. Oh my god, this sounds like my ex. He backed down after his mum ripped into him. I had a breast reduction about 6 months ago. Before my surgery, I would use its eventuality as a test for potential dates. If they're not okay with you doing what you need to feel comfortable in your body, they're not worth your time. In your first post, I thought your husband was the R. I still sort of do for him, saying he won't allow it. I have DDs and I'm only 5 feet tall, and they just sort of appeared out of nowhere when I was about 12. So I understand how uncomfortable they are. They're heavy, they droop as you age and generally cause all sorts of issues. But having read this update, I think your husband is right about the therapy. You've said it isn't for health reasons, just how they look. You also mentioned in your first post about the sexual harassment you faced in the past with them. The fact you mentioned it tells me it's relevant. Is it possible that you do actually have an issue with them being visible to people because of what has happened in the past? I'd definitely at least consider talking to someone before you have the OP, just to be sure. The way you talk about your husband make me think there's something missing in your info. According to him, if I am free to choose what I do with my body, he is free to leave when it doesn't suit him anymore. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much the sum of it. You do have the right to do what you feel you need to do for your body, and he has the right to not support that change or be attracted. I'm sorry that that is his position. Ivy had a radical breast reduction 7 months ago, but mine were huge and causing pain and mobility issues. It's a rough surgery. Yup, that's what freedom is like. You have the freedom to make your choice, and he has the freedom to make his. Since this isn't a medical issue for you, it sounds like you'll simply have different values. YTA. Not for wanting the surgery, but for blaming your husband for his reaction. He's not being controlling. He's not being coercive. He is, very rightly, pointing out that you have the right to do what you want to your body, and he has the right to not want to stay married to you. No one is obligated to sleep with someone they're not attracted to. Is he overreacting? Or being shallow? Perhaps. But he's not being controlling. I bet if you were going bigger, he wouldn't have had a problem with it being purely cosmetic reasons. You are free to do whatever you want to your body, and apparently he is also free to show how much of a superficial gaslighter he is. Now with a slightly lean to YTA. According to him, if I am free to choose what I do with my body, he is free to leave when it doesn't suit him anymore. Of course, you can do what you want, just as he can. He just sat silently and listened to me. Then he said that he wasn't trying to control me or coerce me, but at the same breath, he said he loved my body, and if I am not taking his opinions into consideration, then he knows that I don't care about his opinion. This is as reasonable as one can be, and the last sentence is very, very true. I still can't get past the information in the first post. He told the doctor that you had body dysmorphia and threatened to tell people you are mentally unstable. Even if you changed your mind about the surgery, those behaviors threats are deal breakers. IMO. Completely controlling, manipulative, and unstable. Let him think and accuse you of being the cause of the divorce. It's not worth the effort to try to bring him around to your way of seeing things. However, if he tries to trash your reputation, let people know of these behaviors. If it were me, I wouldn't be leaving the ball in his court to wait for him to leave post-surgery. Bye, Felicia. I also wouldn't be relying on him for care after surgery. I think you could be putting yourself at risk if you do that. Girl, you have bigger problems if he cares about the size of your tits. Be done with this. I don't believe that purely cosmetic is an accurate way to describe this surgery in your case. You had a consistent, persistent, and insistent desire for this surgery for at least 25 years. In my opinion, that's not cosmetic. The size of your breasts is causing you distress and has been doing so for a very long time. Have you seen a therapist about this? If you did, I'd be surprised if they didn't advise you to proceed with the surgery on the basis of that distress. Your husband is also seeing this through a lens of purely cosmetic. He's not sensitive to how this issue is affecting your body image and your distress. If he's unwilling to accept that you need this surgery, then perhaps you two are incompatible. Or perhaps he's just selfish. I love big boobs. I married my wife because she had huge boobs. 3 years ago, she had a breast reduction. I slept with her on the bathroom floor the first night with her because she couldn't stop throwing up. I love my wife and I don't care that she got a reduction because it was for her. I would never even consider leaving her because she got reduction. All I did was support her the entire time. This guy is horrible. What a weird dude. My wife did the same thing. As much as I loved her boobs, it makes me happy she's not uncomfortable anymore. The new ones are nice too.